This week in Jamaica Now, the United States issues a travel advisory against Jamaica. What does this mean? Discourteous, a deputy commissioner of police lashes some traffic cops and exposes indiscriminate seizure of motor vehicles. How a St. Mary protest over a controversial fatal shooting by the police shut down access to the Ian Fleming airport. Rainfall, flooding and landslides in Portland. And the rush for safety in Old Harbour as a tsunami alert is issued for Jamaica. I'm Damian Mitchell and this is Jamaica Now. The U.S. State Department has issued a Level 2 advisory warning American citizens to avoid sections of Montego Bay, St. James and Kingston, Jamaica, and not to venture anywhere in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. It has left tourism stakeholders worried, but the U.S. Embassy says the advisory is nothing new. According to the U.S. Embassy, violent crimes such as home invasions, armed robberies, and homicides are common. Sexual assaults occur frequently, and local police lack the resources to respond effectively to serious incidents. The Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association says it is concerned about the travel advisory. At the same time, President Omar Robinson says although crime against visitors is very low, many of the tourism employees may go to work with a high level of fear. It's a story that has had some people hanging their heads in shame and many others simply stunned. This week, the account of Deputy Police Commissioner Clifford Blake of a police force tainted by seemingly corrupt cops whose hallmark are discourtesy and indiscretion.
You wonder, who are these officers who are doing these things then? And until our own members are affected, can any of you imagine your wife or your mother going to church and the police them take her out on a Sunday morning, leave her on the Washington Boulevard, to get a taxi and go to church, and you and your wrecker friend gone with her car, and the following day she had to beg the bank off because she had to be driving around. A simple approach could have been, give her the ticket, which is a $10,000 ticket, which is sufficient punishment. And even say to her, say, okay, look here, license the vehicle and bring the proof of registration tomorrow. I'm not asking you to compromise your effectiveness. Just be kind, even if you have to give them a ticket, and be courteous.
DCP Blake was addressing a group of policemen and women graduating from a training course last week. He says there have been too many complaints from motorists of indiscriminate and seemingly corrupt action. The Independent Commission of Investigations has started a probe into the police killing of a beloved shopkeeper that triggered angry protest in Boscobel, St. Mary Thursday morning. The roadblocks shut down access to the Ian Fleming airport for several hours. It was finally cleared after the National Security Minister, Robert Montague, addressed residents and met with the family of the deceased. Montague is also the MP for St. Mary Western. The police reported that an illegal firearm was recovered at the scene and that the shooting occurred after a team responded to reports that a gunman was seen in the Boscobel area. Meanwhile, 38 people have been murdered in Jamaica since the start of the year. This has prompted a renewed call for action from stakeholders, including the government, the opposition, and the police. Last year, the police recorded 1,616 murders, the highest since 2009, when Jamaica recorded 1,680 killings. And the police commissioner, George Quayle, and the National Security Minister, Robert Montague, have sought to reject reports that there is a rift between them. The Police Officers Association has raised concern that the minister was disrespectful to the commissioner, often seeking to communicate with him through the media.
We are singularly committed to providing the necessary resources to the constabulary force. We have been doing that, giving the resources, giving the policy support, giving the legislative support, and we will continue that and redouble those efforts because all Jamaicans, all of us have to get all hands on deck.
And you are the commissioner on the same page?
Myself and the commissioner are on the same page. We have one goal.
And the relationship remains?
You can ask the commissioner.
Commissioner, how is the relationship?
I have absolutely no issue.
Residents of some communities that were ravaged by flooding following days of intense rainfall in East and West Portland have been provided with emergency relief supplies. West Portland MP Darrell Vaz described the situation as a catastrophe. Landslides in the Rio Grande Valley left some communities cut off. Vaz says he will be providing a detailed report to the cabinet with the hope of getting emergency funding. There was a mad rush by residents of some Old Harbour Bay communities in St. Catherine for higher ground on Tuesday night after a tsunami alert was issued for Jamaica. It followed a 7.6 magnitude earthquake in the Caribbean Sea. The alert was lifted soon after, but Old Harbour Bay residents were not taking any chances.
When storm come, I don't have to worry. My house is board, but I don't worry. Because bush tree and them thing there in my yard, and my yard sun want to come in my yard. But this is sitting here, this is virtually all sitting in my yard.
Yeah, man.
You have to lift.
I never heard it. Because I say, if my husband is here, he wouldn't gonna see. Because I know, say, boy, something I go on. And even I say, if my husband out there, must see look a sign and coming back.
We have to run to
Old Harbour when we hear the tsunami coming. But everybody come from the seaside with them suitcase and bag. So we hear it nice out here, so we come out and we see crowd and walk and go. So we have to take a full suitcase and run to.
And the police say they too were on alert.
Use the boats and their boat to assist, as well as to sort of to rally the various boat owners and captains, yes, to help with persons who probably
Would have been
washed at sea.
Okay.
So that's really the procedure.
But the head of the Mona Geoinformatics Institute, Dr. Paris Leo Ayi, says there would have been little damage from the tsunami. He is, however, worried that Jamaicans will become complacent and is warning against the lack of preparedness. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, a market truck crash on the Mandela Highway has claimed the lives of 2 Clarendon vendors. How those who knew the victims are coping.
We are coming from that side, Clarendon, to heading to downtown Kingston in Princess Street Market. It was raining. Some persons were sleeping. Suddenly we just feel the truck starting to tilt on the left side. And by we notice we are on the ground and all the load on top of us.
Jesus, was a nice husband to me. We no quarrel, don't have some reason. Sing and ramp and talk and laugh. Sometimes I say you laugh like I'm married to a white man. It's sick of me, couldn't even give me a tea and say, P, this part of hurt you feel. I would feel much better, but it's just gone, so. Just so not to return.
Mercy God, God.
Oh, we Lord, we want to go see him. You know, let me go see him, we want to go see him.